This one is Storm Brendan, apparently. Let's go down the boat and see what we can do. So I spent the morning here just taking off that bit of capping. I found that to get the winches off, it's easier to just, you know, on my particular boat, it was easier to just undo 2 bolts here than undo the 5 that are on the bottom of the winches. It's just about came free. It's disappointing to find that most of the fixings in there were brass. They won't be when I put it back together. But good news is that this is in reasonable shape. You know, the actual combing is in reasonable shape. There we go. Clean up what's left there and start rebuilding it. You can see the problem here then. The cabin is stood on the deck. This cockpit combing here is inside and is bolted to something under there like a carlin. What that gives me here is an X shape where this goes in and this one comes out, which is deeply annoying. Nothing's ever simple, is it? And this certainly could be simpler. If I was starting again, I would try and make it so that at least the bottom edge of that was in line with each other. And I would also try and make it so that this joint, the butt block that goes across there, was this sort of shape and was leaning out slightly. As it is, it's going to get really complicated if I try and do that with this, because this angle isn't quite the same as this angle. This angle isn't the same as either of those anyway, it's in the opposite direction. So at the moment I'm thinking what I'm going to do is put a packing piece in here and then chisel or shave this so that the angle of this is the same as the packing piece, and just lead it in there nicely with my chisel. So that at least that bit is a uniform shape, it's flat and lays against the cabin. Once I've done that, I'll be in a better position to reassess. The issue is that if the top of the packing piece falls inside this line, I'm going to end up having to shave this in order to make the butt block fit, and I don't really want to do that. But at least if I've established my level here, I can pack that out if I need to. And that is the challenge actually, is establishing some sort of base from which to work. You can't just start chucking bits of wood on there and gluing them in and then, you know, carve the whole thing out at the end. So, in what I can only describe as a serious oversight in judgment, I've come to the boat today with no milk for tea. Really, someone needs to have a word about that. It's unacceptable. What I've been up to today. So, I've cleaned all this back and levelled it where I can. I've made these blocks here. And these blocks have the grain running that way. That's because I don't want end grain exposed that way. You've got to choose, it's got to be exposed somewhere. So that block will go in there like that. This block I've started the taper on that, I've not really finished it, but it's, you know, if I can get ahead a little bit, I've done that. That block will go there. That one goes on there like that, and that one goes on there like that. So once they're in, I'll be able to trim them down. I think you can see there, this will be the level. It'll be just trimmed down flat. I'll have to trim the coving a little bit, but that's fine. I'll just lead that in nicely with a chisel. And with any luck, I should be able to get I've remembered the milk. Yeah, frost on the inside. Lots of frost. So I'm going to saw straight down through that block and bring it level with the coving that I put on, the carlin. And across there, I haven't marked this side. I won't need to. Now, what I fully suspect will happen here is that there'll be a little wedge missing here, and the saw will pop out sort of about here and leave a gap. But that's fine, because the bit that I cut off there, I can glue in down there. Okay. Yeah, it's perfect for the butt block. It's perfect for it. You know, with just minimal dicking around, that'll be right. I've got to sort out this hollow here now. A lesser person will probably just fill it up with epoxy. And let me tell you, it's not out of the question, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a bit to put in there, and it'll be the bit that I just sawed out at the top. That'll fit just there. In fact, it fits, it's perfect. So shouldn't be too much shaping to do once that's back together there. Yes. Yes. You bastard. Oh, I've got a wedge, it's okay. It's okay, don't panic. Yes. I will offer up the capping that I've just taken home, and I've not properly finished it or anything. I've just put a protective coat of varnish on it and a couple of Dutchmen to take care of the cracks that were in it. They've come out very well. Got one on there and one on there. They have come out well. These two bits of wood, they're just a bit rough, you know. You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, can you? You know, it's going to be, that'll be Sikaflexed in anyway. What we're talking about is a black line. It's not the end of the world, is it? And certainly the angle to the cabin fits nicely. This obviously needs to be finished properly, rounded back. It will be, but not until the butt block is on there. That's actually not bad, you know, it's not bad. And when it's screwed down, so that fits actually remarkably well. Okay, going to do the other side now. Past 4 on a winter's evening. They are in. Could they do with a bit more shaping? Yes, they could. And I may even do that. But and this stuff obviously going to be covered by the capping rail, which is going to be joined with Sikaflex anyway. So this stuff, if it's untidy, who cares? That is actually pretty good. It's pretty good. The other side is better. A better of the two. Nice. That'll do. That'll do. With the capping rail on, I think that's going to look really nice. That's one of those jobs. Been on my mind for 2 years. Oh, happy days. So, refurbishing the capping rail off the cockpit then. Let me just show you what I'm starting with. I mean, I firmly believe, having looked at a lot of the stuff on my boat, that varnishing should be a licensed activity, you know. You could have like the RYA day varnishers ticket or something. What do you think? This is not even my cat. Can't get enough of me. Everywhere I go, the cat follows me around. Just sits here quietly. I never feed it, just can't get enough of me. Can you? Can you? Anyway, I'm going to start stripping this now, in the hope that I can save it and reuse it. I have a crack here. I've just roughly marked where I'm going to route. See the cracks opened up there. What I'm going to do now is make the actual piece to go in there. Won't be invisible, of course. Battle scars, it's fine. So I've cut these to just oversize, and what I'm going to do now is try and plane an almost imperceptible bevel on them. Just using my eyeballs, man. Not much in it. Yep, still a bit too wide, that's okay. Honed the shoe on some wet and dry, and then sharpened the blade with a proper honing guide, and dressed all the inner bits, the clamp that clamps the blade down to the shoe. And it's a fantastic little block plane now. It's about 10 quid, I think. Oh, we're close now. So when you're somewhere near it, you should have a tapered wedge that's rounded to match the shape of that. And that should just sit there without widening the gap at all. There it is, beautiful.
Hello, it's Pirate Van, Johnny.
Lollipop. It's as cold as charity today. You know, it would just fill with varnish, but it's an extra little bit. Yes. Lovely. The winches obviously will sit on top of that anyway, so you'll only see that little bit. On the other side, it might not be quite so discreet, but that's not bad at all. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. If you have, leave a thumbs up. If you think it was shite, feel free to leave a comment. Big news, there is now a Twister28 Facebook group. It's called, not surprisingly, Twister28 Worldwide, to give it a sort of international flavour. Feel free to look that up, send a little join request, and I will approve it. All you need to do is be interested in twisters and sort of the people that sell them, really. You don't need to own one. It's worth a look, it's worth a look. It's going to get interesting, I'm sure. That's it for this time. See you next time.